The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Issues of the day under T-Radar.
Let's talk issues with the man himself, T-Radar. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Are you well this morning?
Yes, I think I am. Now that the nights are cooling down, easier to sleep.
Yep, easier and perhaps sleep a little bit longer.
Perhaps.
Sleep
I
in, perhaps.
slept to about 3 minutes ago. But although I was up a couple of hours ago burning a DVD. Because I had one burning and then I got up and burned another one.
Did you set the alarm to do that?
No, just wake up. The old Apache technique. Drink a bit of water before you go to bed.
All right.
I think I read that in the Western.
Was that an Apache technique?
Well, I think so, yeah. You know, so that the chill of the dawn would wake them, their full bladder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what I attribute it to anyway.
What is it with cold and wanting to go to the loo?
Don't know. That, or even just sometimes gentle strolls back to your car.
Yeah.
Often the same thing.
And do you find that and the most desperate point is just as you get into the loo?
Yes. Yes. Or if you're in your car, it's that sort of last 5 minutes home. And
yeah. Because your body knows, you're getting closer. You're getting closer.
Yeah. Some people just don't make it. Some people maybe just don't care.
Well, that's
They're
true.
thinking of a mare. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice segue there, T-Radar.
Yeah, look, and of course, what's his name? Andrew Williams over there on the North Shore, reputedly sort of a late night texter. He seems to love his text. He even texted a TVNZ journalist. Sent a lengthy text. Not for him the email or the phone call.
No, he likes his thumbs.
He does.
Yeah.
I reckon he's in danger of some form of RSI in his texting finger.
But here's the problem with Andrew, right? I think most Aucklanders would probably agree with his general stance on the Super City and how he wants to get as much say as possible to Aucklanders and stuff. But he's just not a very good communicator.
No, that is his problem. Having said that, however, the people of the North Shore, bless them, have voted him in as their mayor. So he must have been able to communicate something. Either that, or there was a staggering lack of options.
Yeah, might be interesting to go back to the last election, eh?
It would be, to see who he was up against, yes. Yeah. So a big announcement from him today. We'll see whether or not he's stepping down. There's been a bit of a flurry on the iPredict, which is that it's like a sort of a futures betting market online. You can invest small amounts and as to things that are going to happen or not, and his stock options have moved.
Have they?
Yes.
Yeah. You wouldn't bet on him staying full term?
No, I don't. No. He does strike me as being a little bit nuts. Yeah.
Well, talking about nuts, those Norwegians were pretty much nuts when they shot a kururu. Yes,
they were. What was it? Was it Twin Peaks where they had the thing with the Norwegians are coming? Well, the Norwegians did come, and while they were over here, several of them filmed a hunting video in which they hunted various things, including, yes, the kiriru. And quite a traumatising shot for any fans of the kiriru, sitting up in the tree, nailed by quite a high-caliber rifle, and feathers of flutter, bird out of the tree, and there they were celebrating with it. Whether they didn't know, I suspect they probably didn't. I didn't check to see what was to be shot and what wasn't. If you're in the bush and you do see one of those and you weren't familiar with that with its protectedness, you may well have gone, crikey, look at that, let's pop that off. Which is apparently what they did. But interestingly, the most fascinating thing about this is the Norwegian law itself.
Yeah.
Because they can apparently be prosecuted even more strongly than they can here, and the Norwegians aren't happy about it at all. They've besmirched the good name of Norway.
Well, yeah, that's right. And I don't know if you saw had a look at the video when it was actually up on YouTube, the original clip. No. I didn't actually watch the video because I really didn't want to see it. I just felt like I already know what's going to happen, but I wanted to read the comments. Now, it's interesting. In the Herald this morning, I said the video attracted more than 400 scathing comments. I think scathing was probably quite a light term for the type of vitriol and verbal diarrhea that came from a lot of New Zealanders.
Yes,
there were a few comments that were threatening gang rape, I think, on the Norwegians.
Right.
And also someone who said, if you come back to New Zealand, I'll smash you.
Well, that doesn't get any more Kiwi than that, does it? Maybe some of those comments came from that, is it the Pause website, the Pause Group.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because they've been into trouble for quite inversely for looking to protect animals.
That's right.
They had a lot of celebrities, sort of signing up to their increase the penalties for cruelty to animal, and then someone clearly they had a bit of a brain explosion and was saying that what the penalties should be. I think what were they? I can't even remember what they were, but it was quite, fairly unpleasant sort of stuff. And various people have come and said, look, if this is the SPCA and the Prime Minister, who was, I think he defriended them on Facebook or something.
Which he wants to do sometimes.
Which he does want to do, yes, and said, look, it's a bit harsh, really. You've obviously let some very extreme elements get hold of this, and we're not advocating this extreme violence against people. We just want the laws toughened a little.
Yeah.
Yes. So animals, our friends.
And once again, just like the mayor of North Shore City, the message getting lost in the translation there.
Lost in the translation.
Yeah.
Do you think the message will get lost in the translation of the song they're about to announce today that's going to be the one that will promote the Rugby World Cup?
Yeah, let's discuss this, because so what are they proposing at the moment? Rumour. Is it rumour at this stage, or is it real?
A bit of subjection. Today's Herald reports that they think the song, rumour has it, could be a version of Jesus Jones's Right Here, Right Now, performed by the Feelers.
Right.
Disappointing.
Now,
not that it's the Feelers, more that it's not a New Zealand song.
New Zealand song, yeah.
Come on, Rugby Union. You've sold the actual patriotic rights of the nation down the googler anyway. It's no wonder no one's really following rugby as much as they do, and we're all following the league and the bloody football.
Yeah.
Now you're going to go for an overseas hit. Of course they say, well, we're trying to reach an international market. Exactly.
Yeah.
So many millions, hundreds of millions of taxpayers' dollars poured into it. You could at least use a New Zealand song.
Yeah, and it's not just the patriotic sentiment. I think it's also the fact that the royalties for the song will go out to the Jesus Jones folks.
Right,
every time that's played,
yes,
money
offshore.
Yeah, a New Zealand musician doesn't get it. The Feelers get their performance fee or something.
You feel that wind on the back of your knees there, the back of your head?
Yeah.
Feel that? That's the gentle breeze of money being sucked out of our pockets and away offshore into the coffers of the Jesus Joneses and the IRB.
I think that this issue will blow up, particularly just for that reason.
I think so.
I mean, why couldn't it have been? I don't think you have to be a fan. I think you just have to acknowledge that Shehad's song "Run, Run, and on," or something like that.
Something like that
is pretty much Rugby World Cup.
Yes. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one, won't we? I hope that myself and yourself and the Herald are all proved wrong, and it is in fact a New Zealand song. Otherwise, I will be very, very disappointed. Because
someone said to me before that, it has to be a recognisable song to the rest of the world, but I'm not sure that's the case.
No, I don't think it does. That's what ad campaigns and all that are launched on a song that suddenly says,
exactly.
Here you go, use this, good one.
Like for the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games or other big sporting songs, we hear those songs for the first time in the lead up.
That's right.
To that event.
That's right. And suddenly they're on the tip of everyone's tongue.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, well.
So we'll see what happens with that.
We will see what happens with that. Now, there was something else I was going to mention. Yes, that's what it was. Speaking of patriotism.
Yeah.
We own it, apparently, as of Thursday.
Now, this is interesting on two levels. It's interesting the fact that Shell have pulled out of New Zealand. I don't know if that's scary or a good thing.
No, I'm not sure. Maybe the sheer cost of getting petrol into our market is not...
is it telling about the world oil situation?
Well, I think it is. But then again, there was a chap from one of the financial institutions last night that said that Infratel and the retirement fund, who now own 50% of it each, could stand a very good chance of making 20% return on capital.
Which sounds
20%?
Good. Yeah.
Jesus, I would have bought that for 20%. I would have rustled up a quick... Was it 630 million?
Yeah.
Didn't strike me as all that much for 200 and something service stations,
so
plus the 17% stake in a refinery.
Yeah, the refinery and also the flyby scheme as well.
And a quarter of that.
Yeah. Very positive. I have a really good feeling about this being New Zealand owned.
Yeah.
I know something, and half of it by the taxpayers through the super fund.
Exactly. And what they should do in some ways, they're going to have to run a big rebranding and renaming thing. Maybe perhaps a competition. Everyone loves a competition. Think of a name for it. Go from there. Kiwi.
What would we call it? Do you think? Could we come up with some names now?
Oh, Well,
I bet
they
you.
used it.
I bet you green will be somewhere in there.
Greed.
Yeah, green. No,
Oh,
green.
green.
Green
Yes.
greed. I don't know.
Yes, a bit of green washing, I
Yeah.
suspect. Yes.
But isn't this an opportunity for local innovation also to get into the fuel market? You know, I'm thinking something like biofuels, or but something
Yes.
more locally produced.
Well, there's plenty of them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could certainly get in there, and just so long as they have a good range of pies that we can purchase with our fuel, that's all I care
A
about.
good honest pie.
A good honest pie.
Any time of the day.
There it is. And also, I suspect there'll be a lot of fierce bidding for some interior decorators and, logo people to get all of that redone. They've got all that branding, all of that sort of forecourt stuff, all
Yeah.
got to be changed.
A lot to think about.
A lot to think about.
Makes my head hurt, T-Radar.
Makes my Ted hurt. My Ted hurt. I have a Ted. He's hurting. Well, look, we'll keep our ears posted through the day to see what that song is. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We'll
Thanks.
speak again.
Thanks, T-Radar.
All right.
Cheers. See ya.